join me on pledge allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. We will have no public hearings, so we'll move on to public comment. Anybody signed up?
You do.
Okay, who do we have?
Me.
All right. Please step to the podium and state your name and your purpose for speaking to us tonight.
Do I only have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Jake Kling. I'm just talking as a citizen. Want to give a shout out to your guys' employees. This last time, since we had our last meeting, got our utilities bill for the month of February, but obviously it was a reading from the last couple of months ago or whatever. Got that, and it showed that my water usage for my property was astronomical. So I first came to the city building, and Shauna helped me look at it, and she goes, yeah, something's not quite right there, so we'll have somebody come and take a look at it. And she sent one of the water crew over there to take a look at it, and they came back and like, well, yeah, that's what the numbers are. That's what the reading is. So the next day, trying to figure it out too, I came back into the office and I talked to Mary and to Sarah. And they were trying to help me understand the billing and all that stuff. And I was like, this just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So they obviously pulled in the strong arm, and they had Neil. And he actually was sent down to my property, and he beat me there. And to look at all that stuff, and went through the property with us, try to figure it out, see what was going on, even set up a separate time later that day to see what the reading was, to just try and figure all that stuff out. Ultimately, we got it all figured out. One thing I want to point out to you guys, and the only reason why I came up here to say this is, one, we deal a lot with people that get frustrated with situations, don't like what's happening. You see the comments on Facebook and everything like that. You guys have really good people working for you. I was just one citizen on that one day, and quite frankly, it seemed like everybody just dropped what they were doing to try and help me out with my situation. So for that, I want to tell you guys thank you very, very much, and to let you guys know, and obviously to let the citizens know, we got a lot of really good people working for us, and they know what they're talking about. Neil, put that in your journal, because I looked at him. I looked at him and I said, Neil, that doesn't make any sense to me. He goes, it can be this, it can be. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But that's probably what it was. So Neil was right. Mary was right. So no,
Strike
but
that from the record.
But I do appreciate it, because again, Neil probably had a million other things going on that day. He did not need to do it right then, right there, and I wasn't also demanding that this happen. He was there. So it was very cool. It was amazing to see how quickly they were just like, yeah, let's get this figured out, and it got done. So thank you guys very, very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that. I think one thing that I certainly appreciate about hearing comments like that is those comments are not they're not just restricted to Jake alone. You know, you can show up as the city worker or city attorney and say, I need that checked. It's not just those people that get that kind of service. It's all of the citizens of Goodland. So for that, we thank you. We certainly appreciate that. Anybody else signed up for public comment? Okay. We'll move on to the consent agenda, items A and B. Item A is the 2026 commission meeting minutes, and item B is the appropriation ordinance 2026-04 and 2026-04A and 2026-P04. Any questions, comments, or concerns about the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda items A and B.
Have a motion by Commissioner Howard,
Second.
second by Commissioner Artzer. Mary, roll please.
Cloyd,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Redland, Artzer,
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes. We have no presentations and proclamations. We'll move on to ordinances and resolutions. We'll start with item A, resolution 2026-02 designating depositories.
This is an annual resolution. Mary puts this together as far as it's a resolution that designates that funds for the city of Goodland be deposited or invested in 3 of the 4 banks in town: Western State Bank, F&B, and the bank in Goodland. And then we also Mary, did you want to add anything else to
Nope, I think that's it.
that? Okay.
Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns about resolution 2026-02?
Is there a reason we don't use the other bank?
They do not want our money.
Okay, thank you.
They actually don't want to be
Involved?
involved.
I've
with
never
it,
had a
so.
bank other than them tell me that.
Okay.
That's a good reason.
Move to approve resolution 2026-02 designating depositories.
I have a motion by Commissioner Howard,
Second it.
second by Commissioner Cloyd. Mary, roll please.
Howard,
Yes.
Redland, Cloyd,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes. Thank you. Move on to item B, resolution 2026-03, the 2026 gap waiver.
This is another resolution we do on an annual basis. It's just a resolution regarding the generally accepted accounting principles. And this is a waiver for that. And most cities across the state do that because there's a couple things required by the Government Accounting Standards Board, GASB, that would actually cost us more money in order to follow GAAP. We follow cash basis. So that's what this resolution does, and the auditor requires us to pass this resolution on an annual basis as preparation for the audit of said financial statements.
Okay. Any questions, comments, or concerns about resolution 2026-03?
Would we foresee us ever moving to Gap in the future?
It would have to be a very difficult decision because it would be tens of thousands of dollars additional. And actually the information, because they ask you to depreciate your assets, well, to depreciate streets or like the water treatment system or the sewer, that's very difficult, and I don't see the benefit to it because no one's going to buy, or most likely, going to buy the street or going to buy the one little portion of the water system or sewer system. So to depreciate those items, it's really for the big cities.
Yeah.
And even some cities that are fairly large don't do the same thing we do.
Yeah, I saw like Garden City, I think, was on your list, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I spoke with a local CPA, my husband, about Gap and like what he thought about that, and he agreed like it is more effort almost than it's worth at this size of a community. So
And we would be charged not after it was done 1 or 2 years, it wouldn't be as difficult, but
it'd be hard to start.
it'd be hard to start. It'd be in a lot of extra effort and a lot of extra hours. The auditor would also charge us an extra 10 or 15 grand in order to meet those standards.
Thank you.
Certainly a discussion I think we have every year where we kind of scratch the surface and say, why are we doing it that way? And same explanation every year, so certainly something I can get behind for sure. Any other comments, questions, or concerns about 2026-03?
I move to approve the 2026 Gap waiver.
I have a motion by Commissioner Artser,
Second.
second by Commissioner Howard. Mary, roll please.
Cloyd,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Redland, Showalter.
Yes. Thank you. Move on to item C, resolution 2026-04, electric department reclassification of commercial meters.
I will ask for the accounting staff assistance on this one, but it is actually within our city code. Yes, Shauna. As far as on a regular basis to check, we have two different classifications within the commercial category on electric meters. There's a small commercial and a large commercial, and it's based on certain criteria, and based on those criteria, those can change over time. So there's a periodic checking as far as which category those commercial customers end up in. And there's a number on this resolution that go from small to large, and another number that go from large to small. So, Shauna, did you want to add anything to that, please?
Curious, how often do we check to see where all those are classified?
So it was, before we changed the rate, when we had, I don't know if you remember, we had small commercial, large commercial, and then large commercial had like 10 different tiers. We did it every year. When we changed that ordinance, that was one thing that we kind of missed, making sure that we're doing. So we want to do it yearly.
How long has it been since we've done it last then?
I think I looked at 5 years, is that something? 5 to 6 years since we've done it.
So for a business that's going from small commercial meter to large commercial meter, do we have a way that we communicate that and it takes a while for that to kick in? Or is that like we make this motion today, that changes tomorrow and their electric rates change?
It won't be for,
So next
A billing
send out a
cycle.
letter,
Okay.
let them know which meter and what the differences in prices, and then not this billing at the end of February, but the end of March.
Okay.
And then I'm making the assumption that since we would review annually, would that be next February? Or would it be in January of every year going forward?
Generally do it in February, because that's when we look at last year's consumption.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns about this resolution 2026-04?
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-04 for the reclassification of commercial meters.
I have a motion by Commissioner Archer,
And I second it.
second by Commissioner Cloyd. Mary, roll please.
Howard,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Redland, Cloyd,
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to formal actions. Reappointment of KMEA Board of Directors, Director 2, Chris Douglas.
and I'll ask Director of Public Power Destin to say a little bit on Chris Douglas's behalf.
Hello.
Hello.
Chris he served on the board of directors. We have 2 voting spots and then I think we have an alternate. So I'm on there, Chris is on there. I did speak with Chris, he would like to continue. He does attend annual meetings and stuff like that. And he will also start attending the EMP2 meetings, probably a few months, maybe June or so, before we start our new contract in January of next year. So,
Does he, when we appoint people to these boards like this one, do we do a stipend, or is that just, they're doing that out of the goodness of their heart type appointment?
We pay for lodging and stuff to attend the meeting and the work time to be able to attend the meeting. I would try to give a gold star to Dustin, but he doesn't want to accept the gold star. So.
no, it's beneficial. You know, Chris, he's pretty smart, you know, when it comes to generation and stuff like that. The meetings help in other areas, so, but being one of, I think, 13 members in EMP, we'll have, you know, more of a say-so now that we're a buying member instead of just a voting member, so.
It does give an opportunity to meet with other communities
Yeah.
that have similar issues with their utilities, so that's where it is really beneficial to the city.
Yeah.
To have different members on these boards.
Gives us a voice at the table for sure, it sounds like.
And since it's reappointing him, has he only been on for 2 years, or has he been on for like many years before that? Do you know?
He's probably been on longer than the 2 years. I know Luke might have been an alternate. I believe Kent's the alternate now. It's kind of more on the generation side with the EMP2 and KMEA, but I think this might be his maybe third appointment. So I think he's been on for at least 4 years.
Well, we're glad that he wants to continue doing that. That's what I
Yes.
would say, especially if he's done it for that long.
Any other questions? If not, I make a motion to reappoint Chris Douglas to the KMA Board of Directors for Director number 2.
Second.
I have a motion by myself, a second by Commissioner Howard. Mary, roll.
Archer,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Redland, Cloyd,
Yes.
Showalter.
Yes. Thank you. Move on to item B, City Attorney Contract Renewal.
And I'll let Jake Killing, city attorney, speak to it.
Busy night today.
Yeah. I feel like you were just up here 15 minutes ago.
Something like that. Okay. So one thing is with the contract that we do it for a 2-year term. We also put in the last one when we went back and reviewed this that it does an automatic annual renewal. So we've got that going, but we had in here that compensation and terms could be reviewed on an annual basis on the anniversary date of March 1st. So that's what we have in here. So really, as much as we want to say it's a renewal, this is just a review and then kind of review and stuff like that. So that's really what we got going on. What I've got for you guys, this is what pulled off of trusty old internet ZipRecruiter. This is the city attorney, city prosecutor rates for the state of Kansas. This would be for the entire state. Kind of at least give a basis off of it. So as we kind of talked about before, obviously my role as the city attorney for Goodland, kind of unique in that I do both your, if you want to talk about your general city council, plus I also do your prosecution and all of that stuff. Many places divide those up so that you have your general counsel plus you have a separate prosecutor usually for those things. So that's why it has a little bit of a separation. I had talked to Kent about this some time ago, obviously with Leanne retiring, it kind of brought up other things of like, okay, yeah, how should we really look at this thing and how to approach this? Not necessarily differently, just to make sure that we're looking at this. And so in our situation that we've got here, Kent felt that it's probably more appropriate to start looking at it as maybe 2 different roles, or maybe at least have a delineation between the 2. Now again, on the outside looking in, it's still me, the individual, but they are different positions, if you will. So that's why I kind of brought that up to look over at those things and everything like that. What I presented to you was, I guess, what my offer was, or what my ask was as far as on that for the 2026 to, if we did it for 2 years, or if you just want to continue on this annual basis, we could do that too. So I'll kind of leave it up to you guys on what questions you've got or where you're at.
I'm curious, what do you prefer? Do you like to have the annual renewal, or do you want it to be reviewed every 2 years? What works best for you?
To be honest with you, Jason, it really makes no difference to me, honestly. There's always the give and the take when I've asked questions about contracts specifically, right? The idea is that a contract locks you in on certain terms for a period of time, or gives you the freedom to adjust it as you go along. So it doesn't really matter so much to me on what you guys want to do or how you want to look at it or anything like that. Because again, this is also a little different in the sense that it's a position, but yet we treat it as a contract, right? So that the same idea is there's not a bunch of ebb and flow per se that you would be reviewing, because there's not, I guess I'll put it this way, the terms really aren't that complicated, if that makes sense. So that's why I'd not necessarily, it makes no difference to me, honestly.
I don't know where you guys set on that, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. 2 year, 1 year.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I think it's funny on here it says the legal implications are that it's been approved by you and it's for you. I just think that's funny.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. It's kind of like who edits the editor's book, right? Yeah. So,
I
Sure.
would say this is helpful to see the breakout of, what other cities across the state are paying for both the prosecutor and city attorney. And then when we look at what your proposal is, it seems rather low when you combine both of these.
so again, understand that there's a benefit. I'm just going to put it this way: there is a benefit that I'm the same guy doing both these roles, right? So there is a little bit of an efficiency benefit that goes on with that. The other side of that too, obviously, also recognizing that it's Goodland. You're talking about a population between 4,000 and 5,000 people, right? So we're not talking about Leawood. We're not talking about Wichita. However, the other side of that is, it is still a position, right? It's a position that's required for you guys to have. The same idea for that goes, as I've kind of pointed out, or I guess what it's been pointed out to me, is pretty involved with you guys, right? I don't just show up for one city court or 2 city courts a month and then appear at your commission meetings as needed. We've gotten pretty involved in a lot of different things. As Kent said, I would really like to get out of the real estate business eventually, but so we've done a lot of things that normally city attorneys don't necessarily get involved in per se, or they have different divisions that do that. So that's why it's also a little weird, right? Because like Hayes, sure, they might have a chief city attorney and a chief city prosecutor, but they have multiple attorneys that fill those roles, right? Whereas here, obviously, like I said, I'm the one guy that does this stuff. Also, to kind of give you a bit of a guide on some of this stuff too, the county attorney here in Sherman County right now, his salary is like $109,000 or almost $110,000. I understand that's a little bit budgeted through the state as well, but he has a budget. He has 2 staff members that are also paid for by the county and all that stuff, plus obviously the benefits that go along with that, right? His capers and insurance and all that stuff that goes along with that too. But there's another example of somebody that's right here that's dealing with that. Now he covers different things, but at the same time, it's a comparison to there.
You had some language here that was stricken from the contract. You want to address that?
So what we normally have done, right, is that you've got what we just have your base pay about the expected and what I'm going to call the job requirements of the city attorney, right? But there are some times that have came up because, again, as we've gotten more and more involved, and I would honestly say we've done a much better job from the city standpoint of actually trying to find solutions to things or try to be proactive, like providing housing, trying to provide for different properties, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, though, there's a number of things that do come up, although not very often, but have come up more and more, is when it's a little bit outside the scope of what your city attorney's role would be, much like the quiet title actions or anything like that. So in those senses, right, then that was billed separately outside of the contracted things. If we went with the proposal as I've presented, then I would have that taken out of there, meaning that this was truly the entire contract, that's what I would be asking for with no additional billings or anything coming out of there.
Okay.
So like when we did the quiet title action for the property that we got from the sheriff's sale or the tax sale, we had to file that. That was billed separately because it was outside the scope. That then ultimately is what we then have provided to the school district for them to be able to move their house on.
And now all that would be included in the current contract.
Correct. Yep.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns for Jake on his proposal?
The only other question that I have is,
Yes.
the city agreeing to the monthly stipend
Mhm.
for the office expenses, has that always been in there, or is that
No.
new?
No, that was what we put in there because, again, trying to come up with ways to do that to where, again, part of it is because I'm doing that and doing these two roles that was also brought up kind of from a budgeting standpoint. Again, the role of the city attorney, we do not have a budget. We do not have anything that provides for that. However, at the same time, though, the city is getting direct benefit of my space, my technologies, my internet, phone systems, because, again, when I deal with all that stuff, plus our supplies, whether it be paper, printing, letters, all that other stuff, and all the overhead that we have there that is not does not have anything to do with salaries or anything along those lines. Insurance, malpractice, all that stuff that the city has a direct benefit for, that is being housed and taken care of by me in our office.
We put that in last year, didn't we?
Mm-mm.
2 years ago.
No, I didn't have that in there. This is the first time I've put it in there.
Oh, well, yeah.
Right. Right. I will also say it's kind of a cool thing for me, but March 1st, this will be my 10th year. Isn't that crazy?
Congratulations. Thanks for your service.
Well, we're not there yet. Still got 2 weeks. No.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it's been a cool thing. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy doing it. Like I said, you got good people that work with you, so that also makes the job substantially easier. But also, again, it's helpful. Everybody works together really well.
I agree. Any other questions? Not, I would make a motion to approve the city attorney contract as proposed by Jake Klein.
Second.
A motion by myself, second by Commissioner Artzer. Mary, roll.
Howard,
Yes.
Cloyd,
Yes.
Arthur,
Yes.
Redland, Showalter.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
All right, move on to item C, contract for Cameron Cross repaint big easel painting.
We talked about this in budget last year, the possibility of having Cameron come back and repaint the big easel a second time. Repaint and rehab it, repair anything that needs repair on the painting. But in order to do that, he needs to come here. He's coming from another country. And he needs to have a contract in order to complete the work visa, which we'll be a part of as well, because in order to have a work visa, they contact the employer to get part of that done. So, but this is, he was very similar to actually the contract he worked under in 2012 when he did it. We have some estimated costs in the CCCF there. If it goes amount, we had a certain amount budgeted. If it goes amount that's what's budgeted, there are going to be TGT that can be funds that SCCD has. I know that's a bunch of acronyms. Sorry about that. The tourist guest tax from Sherman County Community Development can be used to help assist in the contract. But this is the first step, and then he needs to get his work visa taken care of. And then wants to be able to come here in September is what he's looking at as far as the time frame. There'll be some approval processes to get through in order to meet that time frame, but that's what it's looking like at this point.
Any concern at all that some of these estimates are based on his 2012, was it? And
We went through most of them, like the flight and everything else. I mean, that obviously can change by the time it gets here. We did increase, those are not the same amounts that it was in 2012. There's a little bit of increase. That's why I have an estimate of between Jessica and myself, staying 16 to 18 grand. It could be a little bit more than that, don't know until it actually gets here. And then also we'll have to work out the housing while he's here as well. In his time, he said when he put it up originally, he was able, he was able to stay in a house owned by Ron Harding to have to stay here and do that. Second time they worked out a deal to rent a place for him, but we'll have to work it out for when he comes. If you guys agree to it.
On the crane cost, is there a crane that's local around here? I think that's one that has like the 2012 cost, so that's the one that I would question since it's more expensive. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's less, maybe it's more, I don't know.
I forgot what the vendor was that they used. I don't have that off the top of my head. It wasn't horribly far for the crane. I mean, it wasn't like Kansas City or Denver. It was a little bit closer than that, but I don't remember the vendor.
But we feel that that's a good estimate, even though on that one, we're using the 2012 rate.
I don't have an answer to that.
And the contract's for 30 days. Is he confident he can get it done in 30 days?
Yes.
Okay. I just don't want his visa to run out and run into issues with that.
Now, if we have wind like it is today, crane obviously wouldn't be operating.
Yeah.
It might dry the paint faster.
The other cost that we might have, and that's just because probably shouldn't even. We'll put fencing around or some other security around while it's on the ground, because we've had issues in our parks over the last several years. I don't think there was any security around it in 2012 when it happened, which to me that's kind of taking a chance as well, but it worked out fine.
They just picked it up and laid it on the ground, and he pressure washed it and then went to work.
But we'll probably do something additional to make it a little bit harder to make a mess.
And is SCCD just providing the TGT funds, or are they helping pay for any of the rest of this? I know this is just the contract, so maybe not the right time to ask.
We budgeted for it, and then the difference between our budget and what it ends up to be can be paid for by TGT funds.
Okay.
We don't have any other formal agreement with SCCD regarding this project.
Okay. Because I had thought, never mind. Okay, thank you.
This was part of our budgeting and planning process last year.
For some reason, I thought that we were working with SCCD to pay for part of it, but that must have been something else. Pregnancy makes your brain get all mushy.
It happens to me too. Any other questions about the Cameron Cross contract? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve it.
I'd make a motion to approve the contract for Cameron Cross. Do we need the amount? Or just approve the contract?
The amount for him will not change. That'll be the 75, or
Probably the wording then just as proposed.
as
Yeah.
proposed.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for Cameron Cross as proposed.
I have
I
a
second.
motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cloyd. Mary? Roll, please.
Cloyd,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Redland, Showalter.
Yes. Move on to discussion items. Request to submit grant application for community beautification project.
Jeremy Cloyd, related to one of our commissioners here, is really excited about doing a beautification project in Goodland, and wants to work and is with Sherman County Community Foundation, basically working with them to obtain a grant from Dane G. Hansen to assist or have funds available for folks to move either vehicles or help clean up properties. In addition to what our building official and code enforcement officer already does regarding properties, this is to give an incentive for certain folks to clean up certain properties in town as well. And Jeremy is enthusiastic about having a program to be able to contact certain properties in town and encouraging them. And there seems to be a good opportunity through Sherman County Community Foundation to obtain some funds for this project. And would just want to see if the commission is okay with staff with pursuing that and seeing if there's anything else that needs to be done to submit the grant application. If there needs to be some sort of formal approval for it, we'll bring it at a subsequent meeting. But if you guys have any comments or concerns or anything else regarding the grant application.
Well, I certainly think it sounds great. I think anytime we have a community member that's willing to step up and do the hard work of spearheading an operation like that and working with us, I'm more power to them. That's the work that it takes to make the community a better place to live. So I'd be in favor of it.
As if the grant can assist with helping those who want to, clean up their property or area within the city, that's awesome.
Yep, I concur with both of you on that.
Okay,
Do it. Okay.
if there's anything additional, we'll bring it back to you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll move on to reports. We'll start with the city manager.
Included in your packet is the manager memo and also the month-end fund balance report for January, as well as the police monthly activity report and also the use of force analysis report for 2025. The police chief Earhart completed. This is the third or fourth year that that's been provided, so appreciate that. We also had a renewal, and I'm just making a statement regarding it because the renewal, the FAA needed a formal lease signed as far as their navigation, communication, and weather aid facilities that they have on the airport property. 20 years ago, it was signed by a previous city manager, so it is just a simple lease, but I wanted to make you aware of it, that it was signed, and they want to keep those facilities there for the next 20 years. So, but dealing with the FAA, almost everything needs an agreement. So, wanted to have that. Also, regarding the airport terminal building, the water and sewer connection for the little sink for the barber, where the barber shop will be located in the terminal, the connection's been completed, and our street crews ended up pouring the concrete to put the finish back on the floor. They have a little bit more to do as far as putting carpet back on that area, but they put the wall back together and getting other things done within that area to make it look appropriate. Appreciate Kenton's crew and what they've been able to do there. We have had a couple other costs that have come up because at your next meeting we'll have the restaurant lease for the restaurateur to move into the airport restaurant area April 1st. We've had a little bit of an electrical project because we had a breaker box that was out of code, so we've had to replace that. That got replaced today. Did they finish that up, Kenton? They're done. And then also we have the engine on the hood that needs to be replaced. So the airport terminal building is showing its age a little bit. A couple things to take care of. So we're working through those and making sure that it's can last for many years to come.
On that hood replacement, do you see any concerns with that being in place before April 1st?
We're working with the vendor. That's the only vendor that does hoods in this part of the state, is out of Hayes, and but I have not talked with them again regarding schedule. I don't think it'll be a problem. It's not the entire hood; it's just the engine within the hood, or That's the only, should be able, I would think, should be able to be replaced within the next 6 weeks. But as we've seen with electrical supplies and certain plumbing supplies, they sometimes can have an issue, but I don't have any firm information one way or the other. Couple other things that have come up. I'll let the building official speak for a couple minutes regarding a couple properties, and I got some other things to come up.
Good evening, everyone.
Even?
Evening.
To retouch on 216 East Highway 24 Lot D5, which would have been the mobile home that we declared unfit. They have got all the trash completely removed out of it. The floors, walls, everything's been scrubbed down. They did remove both the toilets, and they have both brand new ones in there. They're waiting for a furnace to come in to replace that, and then they have to replace the fridge and the stovetop as well. So, in my eyes, the code violations have been abated at this point. So if you guys are okay with it, I move for moving them off of the unfit list at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good with
Yeah.
that. That's great news.
And that's all I have at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Mary, did you want me to speak on this, or do you want to speak on the credit card issue?
Did you want to say anything since we haven't been notified?
Well, we haven't been notified, but we might have to bring something to the commission fairly soon. That another business in town has been notified regarding the charges to use credit cards.
It's another municipality
Another
that uses the
municipality.
same system that I use. They got notification that their credit card fees, which we absorb and we pay for the customers, have gone up almost 100%. What's our current? Is it 2 or 3?
For an ACH right now, we pay $1.30.
No, not the credit card.
Just a credit card, it's
2, and it's going up to 4.
2.24.
And then the ACH is going from $1.30 up to 4. Or up to 3, I'm sorry, up to 3. So, I mean, it's basically more than doubled, and it's already an exorbitant expense.
We basically, it keeps creeping up because obviously more people use it. And we want to encourage that. That's one of the reasons that the city clerk staff is really wanted. We've kept it as far as a charge that the city absorbs, but it's up to over $5,000 a month basically at this point.
6 or 7. But we don't also know what the new company's doing because and we were supposed to have a call today, and that was one of my questions for them. Because once we go live with them, we don't know what their fees are going to be at this point.
But just to make you aware, we may have another utility decision upcoming fairly soon. And it's not something that would look forward to doing, it's just something that there's so many places now that you get charged for using your card. So, and even our big customers end up calling us about that. So it becomes an issue. The other thing, is 1008 Main. The college ended up with that property, and in previous commissions, the people that's sitting on the board here, except JJ, you were part of that, weren't you?
Part of that, yep.
Well, at the beginning, the city used to own the property and ended up in the college's hands. They've looked for a way to actually move forward on rehabilitating that property. They actually received their grant or notice of award of their federal grant, and they will be able to have quite a number of resources to be able to rehabilitate that Main Street, 1008 Main Street building now. So that is good news. That college has been waiting, I think, over a year, maybe two. A little over 2 years for awarding of that grant. And they finally received notice that they have been awarded. So,
Will the college be using that, let's say, for classes, or will they be fixing up the property for, I don't know, any future use? Like, what's the purpose, I guess?
Right now, the plan is to make it it's what we would probably call a maker space, so a place for people that, you know, have an idea that they want to try to engineer, whether they need like a 3D printer or different kinds of technology that are either they can do themselves or our engineering students and instructors will have some time that they'll be down there. So it'll be like a forward-facing area for students and instructors to interface with the community. So it's grant was in the neighborhood of about $1.75 million. So it was a significant award for us. 1.75.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be great just to have yet another space in downtown.
Nice to have another building on Main Street refurbished and
Yeah.
back up and going. So
Is this the building? Is it this one by Bees and Magnolia?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yes, yep.
So, do you guys have the apartments on top as well?
Mhm.
Are you going to make those apartments, or is that going to be part of the makerspace?
it's going to be probably office space, I believe,
Office
is what
space.
they're going to do with it.
Okay. Cool.
Anything else, Kent?
that's all I have at this point.
Any questions for our city manager?
I like a question unrelated to your reports. I saw that Senator Marshall was in town this last weekend. Did he stop by City Hall at all?
I didn't see anyone with Senator Marshall's office, no.
Okay. I was just wondering, because, I don't know.
We've been contacted before with
Yeah.
members, but didn't have any contact this time.
Okay. I was just wondering.
And that happens every once in a while too. I mean, they come for a lot of various reasons.
Okay. I didn't have any idea he was gonna be around, and then I saw it on Facebook, so.
Didn't have any notification.
I had one question for Kent and Zach. Probably both of you could chime in on this maybe, but just in the last couple of weeks, I've taken a couple of different complaints about properties in town that I've forwarded on to Zach, and Zach has started to look into. Is there, I know we kind of had some side conversations about it, but is there a way for the community members that would like to report properties like that's kind of streamlined for us, where we can point them to a website where they could fill out a form, or a place where they could make a complaint that it would come to Zach, as opposed to just me saying, or us saying, yeah, we'll pass it on?
There is a way on the website to have an inquiry. I get those every once in a while. Pass it along to the appropriate department head member. They can also call City Hall or stop by City Hall at any point. We don't bite. So we'll be able to handle the complaint as best we can.
Okay.
If they don't want to be anonymous in reporting it, there is all kinds of different ways that you can leave a message for us and take care of it. We'll take anonymous complaints as well. But
Looks like Josh is showing us something on the screen right now.
Right, yeah, so any of our departments have a contact page. So for like that, you would just contact the
Okay.
building official. It's just a simple. Name is required.
If you,
The field is required.
yeah, you could probably put just like anonymous if you didn't want to say your name. You just
Yeah.
have to put something.
you could put Mickey Mouse or Walt Disney.
The field has to be populated, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious, Jordan, one of the questions or the complaints that I got, they actually attached a set of pictures with the complaint as well. Do we have the ability to allow them to upload a file if they wanted to turn in a picture of the complaint?
If we can make a complaint form.
I have one made. You'll just have to put it onto the website. website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely something we can do. We have other things that do have file uploads.
Mhm.
The contractor stuff has file uploads. So,
Permitting
Okay.
stuff has file uploads on it.
We would want to have some sort of upper limit on that, though. You know, someone uploads a video or something else, we don't want them taking up an enormous amount of space in order to submit the complaint.
yeah, on the website, there are file upload limitations. And since we host our own web server at this point, we can change that if we wanted to do video, but more than likely we'll say everybody has some sort of cloud storage, be it Google Drive, Apple, iCloud, whatever, that can share a link. We would have them do something to that effect.
I think this probably suffices. I just didn't know if we had some way that people could contact Zach online and
Yeah.
would be maybe easier for us to say, here is the complaint form, or here's where you go to turn in your information. So it's not, feels a little clunky sometimes when I'm like, well, all right, I'll call Zach and let him know. Like, I think they need to be able to do that as well, so.
And I think if there's information that would be helpful for you, Zach, to get with that, say, complaint or submission.
If they give me a number to reach back to them, yeah. Most of the time on emails, I always respond with an answer of what the response is and what I'm gonna tell the person that they have the complaint about. That way they're on the same page of the timeline, because it's not as fast as what most people would like to see.
And the other issue with trying to be anonymous, if the email address that they put in say isn't a valid address, if Zach tries to do that, it's just gonna get a kickback. And then how do you differentiate a real complaint versus somebody that's just nitpicking?
Or just trying to mess with our system and submit hundreds of complaints from, you know. That's how City of Wichita got hit with
I'm not
something
sure you
that took
want
down part of the
anonymous.
system and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so.
I would say if it's really something someone is nervous about reporting, maybe talk to one of the commissioners and we can figure it out
Or
for you
talk
and
to the
talk to
department
Zach.
head.
But
There's always that option.
Yeah.
I mean, there's multiple ways.
Okay, that answers my question.
I have one additional thing, ask Neil to come up and explain regarding one of our water wells, we're having to do some major repair.
Good evening. Well 12 up by the water treatment plant, the well meter has died, so I'm in the process of trying to find a meter to replace that will fit our SCADA system. So I'm waiting for some bids and quotes on meters from Midwest Meter and Salina Supply right now. I had a quote from Core and Main, but I found out that the meter that they provide has an external box that would hook up to our SCADA system, and I've been told that by the person that set up our SCADA system that it works part of the time. So I'm going to try and find something that will fit our SCADA system to where when that well is running, it will actually tell the treatment plant exactly how many gallons it's pumping at that point in time. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Keep our fingers crossed for a cheap fix then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't look very cheap.
Perfect.
Figure between $4,000 and $6,000 for a well meter.
Okay.
And the meter that's in there, they quit providing a insert for that in 2011. Because that's what I tried first, was just getting an insert, pull the insert out, put the new insert in. You don't have to change the whole lay length. So, but now we're gonna have to change the whole lay length and everything.
Now that's all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Neil. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on to city commissioner reports. I'll start on my right with Commissioner Artser.
thanks to our electrical department, I guess we had a power outage this weekend. I was not affected by any of them, but I saw it all on Facebook, so thank you for your hard work on it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like,
Commissioner Floyd?
thank you for everyone who worked. I'll say it sounded like during the middle of the night. So when most of us got up in the morning, it was all back to normal. So thank you.
Commissioner Howard?
Yeah, and the same thing, I had multiple people come and tell me that we had not just wonderful employees in the electrical department for getting out there late that night and fixing that, but throughout the city, we have wonderful employees that are willing to sacrifice their time to get things back to going so we can live comfortably.
And for the mayor's report, I would echo all that. I don't know that I can say it any better than anybody else up here, so I'll stand silent and take a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Brooke ain't here.
I moved to adjourn.
All right. Motion from Commissioner Cloyd. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Commissioner Howard. All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.